Hello, my name is John DeLong with SBG Product Management, and today we are going to learn about Next-Gen Firewall ordering and bill of materials. When we're complete with the training, which will be about 10 minutes, you should have a good idea of how to use CCW to create estimates, look at bill of materials, and then identify and understand the things that are within our ordering bundles and products. Primary mechanism we use for quoting and estimates is Cisco Commerce Workspace, or CCW. The training we're going to do today is going to focus on a subset of that overall capability. There's some links in the PowerPoint that will go along with this that have much more detailed instructions on that training. Another critical tool we're going to use for understanding what to order and for ease of ordering for the network security products is the Cisco Network Security Ordering Guide. We'll go through a live demo of that as well. And that ordering guide contains pretty much everything you need to know about products, how they go together, product IDs or PIDs, bundles, ordering, licensing, et cetera, et cetera. So we really encourage you to bookmark the ordering guide. So CCW, again, is the primary mechanism we use for creating estimates, deals, /quotes, and orders. It'll allow you to create them, share them, and then access those that have been created by other people as well from within CCW. And what we'll do is now jump into actual CCW. So some of the first things you'll want to do is you have a profile within CCW, and that can be found once you log in from the link that's in the PowerPoint. You'll see your name. You'll choose My Profile and Preferences. From here, it's very self-explanatory. You can update name, ID, phone, et cetera, et cetera. The thing we're going to make sure we have set correctly today is the preferred price list. So there are different price lists within Cisco that correspond to different geographies, and the pricing is actually different in each one. So you need to go in here and make sure you're using the correct price list. So we're going to use global price list, US availability, but I encourage you to make sure you're using the right price list for the geo that you're in. Okay, from here we're going to work on just a simple creation of an estimate. So you have a toolbar at the top. It has catalog, estimates, deals, quotes, orders, services, and subscriptions, and so forth. We're going to focus on creating estimates today. All right, you'll see that there's a very large search box in the middle here. If you already know the PID or bundle name that you're going to use here, you can go ahead and type it in. If you aren't familiar with what exactly you need, you can go to the ordering guide that we referenced the link to. And this ordering guide, if you printed it, is probably, I don't know, 20 pages or more, but it really does have everything you need to create estimates and quotes and so forth and know how things work together. For the purposes of this training, we're going to do a 2100 series configuration using a bundle. And the reason we like to use bundles and encourage everybody to use bundles is it's a way within CCW that we can group things together that we want to make sure you order together. So in most cases, all of the firepower devices have a bundle. And within that bundle, you can choose and configure the hardware or appliance that you want. And from there, configure the licenses and configuration specific to the hardware, and then it will also bundle the subscription in the same area. So you can go through, configure the hardware, and configure the subscriptions, therefore ensuring that you don't forget anything as part of the ordering process. So we strongly encourage you to use bundles. So in this example, we're going to click on 2100 PIDs or ordering area, and we're going to pick the 2140 for this example. So we will navigate back to CCW, so I can get my mouse to work here. We'll navigate back to CCW, and you can either copy and paste it if that's easier for you. Oops. So we'll select it, and we will paste it into the search bar, and you'll see it'll come up. And this is an auto search feature, so as you type things into it, it will actually bring up things that match it. And so if you know it, you can type it in or just copy and paste it. So we're going to add that to our configuration area and move forward with configuration. Now you'll see from the beginning here we have a big yellow exclamation point. And you'll see a couple of these on occasion, yellow and red. Yellow is typically a warning that tells you, hey, there's something in here you may want to configure or you haven't configured this yet. Red is kind of, think of that as a stop. So you have to go fix something when there's a red exclamation point. Now when we hover here, it's simply telling us, hey, you haven't configured the bundle yet. So to do that, we'll select Options. And this is where we will see the sections of the bundle. So we have two categories here, Firepower Hardware and Firepower Subscriptions. In this example, we're going to go ahead and configure the hardware first. So we're going to do the Next-Gen Firewall. So we click the Add button, and you'll see that moves it over to the right. Here's those warning error notations again. I'm going to ignore them for now because we haven't actually done any configuration to the hardware. So from here, we're going to choose Edit Options. And now we'll go in and choose things like the country. Where is this going and why is that important? Well, we want to send the right power cord along with the device. So we'll randomly pick Argentina for this case. You can choose versions of software. You can choose, do I need SFPs? Do I need a network module? Sure, we'll add all those things. When we're done, we'll simply click Done, and that'll take us back to the page. Green in CCW is generally good. That means all systems are go and all is working fine. So from here, we're going to go back and add our subscription. Anytime you see a plus within CCW, it means you can expand it or add it in some cases, but we're going to hit the plus and we're going to choose the threat, malware, and URL license, the full Monty. So we choose Add, and just like the hardware, it moves it over to the right. Again, if you want to expand things, you can take a look and see, okay, the default is 3 years in this example. If we wanted to make that something else, in most cases, you'll find Firepower devices have an option for 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year. So we choose Edit. And then if we want to choose a different term, we can choose Edit Subscription and use the bullet to pick 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year. You can customize start dates, end dates. You can change duration. They give you ranges for what those durations can be. For the purposes of this, we're going to keep the 3 year and choose Done. Okay, now we go back to our configuration and we take a look at it. I don't see any warning errors popping up, so I'm going to say that I'm done. And this will bring us back to the main screen where we started. And this is where we'll talk a little bit about bill of materials. So essentially, by configuring that bundle, you've created the bill of materials for this particular order that we're going to do. And from here, if we want to see what's actually in there, we can click the plus button, and that will expand. And you'll see line items 1.0, 1.1, 1.1.0.1, and so forth. So this is telling us under the first line item of the configuration, we have a hardware device here, and within that hardware device are all these things that are sort of underneath it. You'll see another note here, SmartNet has a default in most all cases of 8x5 next business day. If we want to edit that, we can do that from here. We can choose Edit and go change the level of support that we want to offer. We're not going to do that today. You can scroll down further. You can see line 1.2 is the subscription that we added as part of the bundle. And again, you can edit that from here as well. So from here, we can do a couple things. We're going to focus on putting this into Excel for sharing and so forth and so on. One other thing I want to cover quantity-wise, if we configured one of these with hardware and subscriptions and we think that that's just fantastic, we can go back and say we want to order 25 of these. We can go back and change the quantities within this view, 25 appliances, 25 subscriptions to match, choose Done, and we'll come back. Nothing really looks different here, except we'll see that our total price has gone up substantially because now we have 25 of each of the things that we configured. So very quickly to export these things to, or export this bill of materials out to Excel. And a bill of materials is simply just a list of components that are in the device. We'll select the line item because you may have some additional things, and then we'll choose from the toolbar above here. You see export, email, share, etc. We're going to choose export. I typically like to do Excel. I think most people do. So we're going to pick Excel, and we're going to accept the defaults and choose export. And from here, we will have a nice Excel file that has exactly the stuff you saw in CCW, bill of materials exploded out for us with quantities. Back in your customization, had you put some base discounting in here, that would have been included, and it rolls it all up. So this is a nice way to take a look at everything in an Excel view. And once you have it there, I'm not going to get into it in the training today. You have the capability to take estimates, which are kind of foundational, and convert those to orders, share them, et cetera, et cetera. And that concludes our training for today. Thank you.